Hey everybody, it's Jay with the Hesitation Station, along with my co-host Tank. How's it going, buddy?
I am slightly concerned for your well being.
I mean, what would you do if like Jason's just like, sup?
Probably stand there. Like, he'd have a good shot to murder me because I would be confused as hell.
Yeah, that would be, or I would ask him if he had another beverage. Which, speaking of, I feel muffled in this. It's so hot in this little bitty thing. I don't know how he did it in costume. So speaking of, if we're gonna have a drink with Jason, guess what, everybody? We may or may not have Jason on here. You never know. I mean, even though it says it right there. But no, we actually
It's on
do.
the other side.
Oh, it's on the other side, this side,
Yeah,
everybody.
right there.
We actually have the actor who played Jason in Voorhees, The Night of the Beast, right? Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay, making sure. Mr. James Stokes, everybody. Bam.
Hey guys,
Yay!
what's
Hey.
How you
up,
doing?
guys?
So on the real, James, how serious would you take it if Jason just walked up to you and just started sipping a drink through his mask holes?
I take it very serious because I've actually done that before. So it's kind of cool. No, man, playing the role of Jason was an absolute dream come true. As a horror fan all my life, growing up watching Friday the 13th, Halloween, Freddy, and all that. I to play that part and I got to play in three different times, in three different films, with Slasherverse and all that.
Yeah.
Slasherverse was all of us combined in one, which was absolutely amazing. It was shot very, very well. Yeah, getting to play that character was life changing for me. It literally has been life changing for me. It really has.
And
Nice.
do people see you like at when I saw you at Conuga, I knew exactly who you were,
Yeah.
what you did. Do you have that
I
thing now?
absolutely have that right now. I can go into a restaurant in another state and I people know who I am, and it's absolutely phenomenal. They know me a lot, not just from from my Voorhees Night of the Beast movie, but
Right.
also from The Forest Through the Trees. That movie is absolutely blowing up right now. It's overseas. It's doing very well. I won Best Actor for it. Um,
Nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, and it's just it's doing really really well, and a lot of people know what that movie is.
Mhm.
It was sitting at number two when you pull up Prime for the longest time, so it was doing really well on Prime. So
Okay. Well,
yeah.
I bet that's great to get best actor and everything. That's
It
definitely a
was
life
amazing.
changing
Yeah,
thing.
it
Yeah.
was amazing. It was very heartfelt. I mean, dude, when you pour yourself into something for so long, and finally get recognized for it, it makes you feel really good, And with the director and the cast that I had with me, it was to me it was just phenomenal. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I appreciate that, guys. I mean, I really do. It's a big honor. I mean, it
Yeah.
really is. It's just accolades, to the hard work you put in. Because I'm telling you right now, being an actor and getting in these movies, I've done 70 films. I've got 70 films to my name, my credit, and it's just it's hard work, it's dedication, it's long nights in the gym, staying in the gym, keeping your body as well as you possibly can, and to get these roles and to play these different kind of characters like that. So it's
Mm.
kind of it's very rewarding to get recognized sometimes.
Understandable. Now, I will tell you, for anybody out there that will be at a Comic Con, because me and James have talked about that. You are booked to the
I
T
am
for
over
Comic
30
Cons.
this year.
Yeah.
Oh, when you got 30 weekends out of 52 weeks in the year, you're pretty well booked. And then that's on top of that, I've got two films that I'm doing. So, I just finished one film in Florida, in
Mhm.
Daytona Beach, Florida, and I'm getting ready to start another one in July in Ohio. So, and that's weeks of filming, and it's
Yeah.
on top of the cons that I've got.
Nah,
And so,
I could barely handle what we do.
dude, it's a lot, man. I'll be in Chattanooga this weekend.
Oh,
At
okay.
ShutterCon. I'll be at ShutterCon this weekend.
I thought they canceled that one. Huh?
No,
Shows how
no,
much I know. But
yeah.
I want to kind of brag on you real quick, James.
Okay.
So when I met James over at Paranormal Comic Con, took out the time, talked to me, was super super nice. And I thought that was just because we've met a lot of people. Everybody, y'all guys know this, but I thought that was just at the table and everything like that. No, I saw James at Conuga, called out his name, shook my hand. At the time, your wife and your kid was there, and he's like, "Oh, hey, these are my wife and my kid," and just talked to me, took the time out. So, guys, if y'all ever get to meet James, please do it. He is a very nice dude,
No, I
and
appreciate it.
yeah,
Thank you
man,
so
dude,
much.
you are awesome. But the fact that you just like took out the time at a random place and been like, "Hey, this is my family. How you doing?" Blah blah blah, and you took out the time to talk to me. I really appreciate that.
Well, dude, I'm very humble about everything that I've gotten and so far. It amazes me to go to these conventions and sit behind a table and people want my autograph because of a character I played.
Yeah.
To me, that is the biggest statement of humility that you could ever get. And if someone's going to take the time to pay me $20, $40, whatever it is at that convention
Mhm.
for my autograph, then I'm definitely going to take time out to talk to them. And I don't even care if they buy anything. I there's people come to my table that don't buy stuff, and I don't care. I treat them just like I do if you were buying something, and I still take
Mhm.
pictures with them. I don't charge for selfies, and there's a reason behind that. I don't charge for selfies because I can't bring myself to charge someone to put my picture out there for the world to see and do it in a way that they love the character that I played and they loved how I was to them. To me, that is more than payment. To me, is them putting my picture out there, going, "This man talked to me, and he showed my son or my daughter the time of day, and he got down on their level, and he talked to them." That is worth more to me than any $20 or any $40 or anything like that that ever could be. I'm not at these conventions. Yeah, of course I'm there to make money.
Right.
That's my livelihood.
Right.
Yes, of course. And I tell people that all the time when they ask me about my pictures. I do have to sell my pictures most of the time at most cons. They're $20. At bigger cons where there's more Jasons and there's more actors and stuff, I go 40. Usually 40 is my limit on a picture, signed autograph picture. But I never charge for selfies, and that's because some people can't afford a signed autograph picture. But if they got a cell phone and they want a picture with me, I am never going to tell someone no. I just can't bring myself to do it, and I won't bring myself to do it. And as I just that's what I do. I love meeting new people, and I love making that connection, that friendship, and that because you never know, man. You never know. You don't walk through people's shoes. You don't know what they're going through. Sometimes just a hi, hello, a hug. Because I'm a hugger, dude. I'll hug your neck faster than I will anybody. I mean, that's just the way I am.
Yeah.
I hug guys, women, kids, all that stuff, man. I'm just a hugger. That's just the way I am. That's the way I was raised, and that's the way I grew up. Sometimes, man, it hits you hard, and you see how the reaction of people is. And I've taken that throughout the years at all these conventions that I go to, and I've just added to it. And I make every experience, every person that walks on my table, I make that experience a brand new experience for them.
Yeah, Tank, I'm gonna let you talk because I could keep going.
See, it's beautiful to hear that because Jay and I have gone to a lot of cons over the years, and even more so since we started this podcast, and doing money, raising money for charity. And now that we actually go and we work them, we spend more time around voice actors and actors and musicians and everything. And I mean, they all try to do their best. I mean, I understand y'all have a packed schedule. I mean, you have 30 cons that you're doing over the year. You've got 2 movies you're filming. All the time you have to spend in the gym. You try to cut out time for your family, your friends, and everything. I get that, but there's been a lot of times that we've gone to an event and it seems like it's just overwhelming for one or two voice actors or one or two actors, and it's just they seem in a foul mood. And every time we run into that, I try to give it the benefit of the doubt. Like, hey, they're not a bad person. They just have a lot on their plate, and I think a lot of people don't understand that.
And I get that, but at the same time, man, it's just like going to work. When I was a
Yeah.
Yeah.
supervisor at a factory, it's like going to work. If I was a supervisor at a factory, and being a supervisor, I'm over a bunch of people, and when they get to work and they act tired and I'm going, dude, you've done the hardest part. You're already here. Just go ahead and get your work done, and then you can go home and the whole day will be here. You've done the hardest part, and that's getting here. You
Yeah.
know, I feel like, and don't get me wrong, and I have been to some conventions and people sitting right next to me, and I've watched them never get up from their seat. They don't shake hands. They don't touch nobody. If they take a selfie, they stand behind the table and they have to turn around, and it's like I don't do that, dude. I've got my arms around people. I'm choking people out. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. That's just the way. That's because that's why I want to give them an experience
Right.
because they paid to see me. They paid to see us.
Yeah.
Give them what they, dude. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be where we are today. I wouldn't be wearing this shirt. I wouldn't be wearing, I wear this. I wear these shirts proudly, dude. Playing this character meant something to me, and that's the reason when I go to these cons, people fall in love with me. Not just the people that come to see me. I'm talking about the con people. They love me because they see how I interact with people, and I keep bringing people back. That's the reason. That's the reason the cons bring actors and stuff in. They want to bring in more customers. They want to bring in more, people to buy stuff and to come to the cons. But if you're already at the con, I don't care. Treat people right, man. And that's just wrong. I don't like that. I've seen it. I can't. I don't say anything because it's not my place to say anything.
Yeah.
If that's the way they want to be, that's the way they need to be. It's whatever. I'm just not going to be that way.
Mm.
Um, I've never been to a con where I've like, no, I've been tired, of course, because I'll go to, I've done 3 cons in one weekend before. I went to one
Wow.
Friday, one to Saturday, one Sunday, and it was all in 3 different states, dude. So I've done it, and I'm tired, but at the same time, I'm not going to show that. I'm not going to show it to people. I'm gonna suck it up like I'm supposed to do. Sit in my
Yeah.
chair for 6 8 hours and get up every time someone comes to my table because they've taken the time out of their day to come see me. So I'm going to make sure that I treat them with the respect that they are owed, and I'm going to give them that.
And I think that goes back to what you were saying about you never walk, in other people's shoes. Like when Jay and I work at con, that's one thing that we try to put out there. Like even in our episodes, at some point we'll say it during this one. You like you said, you never know what somebody's going through. They could
Absolutely.
be having a horrible day, and then that 5 minute, the little 2 3 minute moment they have with you could be what turns their day around.
Mhm.
And
Exactly.
that's one thing that Jay and I preach regardless. Like when people come up to our booth to try to win prizes, we interact with them as much as we can. We try and make sure they have a good time because the way we have it
Sure.
set up, regardless of how you spin the wheel, you're leaving with something, whether it's stickers or an actual prize or whatever.
Or I
You know,
give you
Sure.
something and Tank yells at
yeah,
me, whichever one.
because I mean that's what we're there for. I mean,
Absolutely.
we need to raise money for the charity, but at the same time, charity in and of itself is trying to make somebody else have a better day.
Absolutely, dude. And that's the whole thing, man. And even if they don't stop at my table, I still say hi to them. That's
Yeah,
just the way. That's just the way I am. And it's just I hate seeing people. And I understand that people get in bad moods and they had a bad day. But if you're there and you're there to represent something, then you need to represent what you're there to represent, and not do something totally different. And that's the reason I guess I make my prices at affordable rates because I want everyone to have a picture of me as Jason hanging on their wall. Man,
yeah,
that's the way I look at it. I mean, that's just what I do.
And
That's
this kind of goes back around with what we talked about during Paranormal Con.
Mhm.
Um, the thing that we talked about before trying to get you on the podcast was mental health, and that's what we
Absolutely.
raise money for, and you were very adamant. That's one of the things we talked about, and
Every
so
day, dude.
tell me, you're not one of those guys. You're this big, strong, buff dude, but you also have these moments where men's mental health is very important, especially to guys like us. What do you think
It's,
of that?
every day. I go through every day. I find someone to talk to. Whether it be a guy on the street or whether it be someone I know or something, I constantly send motivational messages to someone, if not multiple people, every day. Um, I have found it does me good when I do stuff like that for someone. I don't know their situation. I don't have to know their situation. Don't care sometimes to know their situation. I just want them to know that they're being thought of and that they matter. And sometimes that goes a long way. And
Absolutely.
sometimes I get feedback and sometimes I don't. Sometimes it's just feedback and a smile. And you know what? If I can make someone smile, I did what I was supposed to do that day. And that's the way I look at things. And there are a lot of guys out there my age and younger and older that are going through some rough times. And it's not just men. There's a lot of women out there going through the
Yeah,
same thing. And I don't like to see no one hurt, dude. I don't like to see anybody hurt. It hurts me to see someone hurt. And I get emotional because I can't save everybody. I can't save everybody, but I can save somebody, and that's the whole thing. If you go through life and just try your best every day to make someone else smile, then I think in the long run you're going to be happier and you're going to feel more joy inside. You know, the way I look at life, you can't let no one make you feel like you're a nobody. I try to tell people that because whether it be going down the street and you get mad at someone in front of you or some road rage or whatever else, you don't know what that person in front of you is going through. So yeah, they could be just on their phone and looking at Instagram driving. It happens all the time. But at the same time, you don't know their life. And take sometimes instead of getting angry, just say hi or good morning or something like that to somebody, and it changes your day. It changes your life. So thank you for bringing that up. But yes, every
absolutely.
day, I go to schools and I talk to kids, and right now, and that's another thing that's fixing to come up too. April and May, especially May, the last few weeks in May, I have several schools that I go to. They ask me to come in and I talk about bullying, anti-bullying, and making the right choices before you go into high school. I like talking to middle school kids because those are the ones that are um, well, they're fixing to go into high school, and the group of friends that you pick when you go into high school is really important because they could lead you down one path or they could lead you down another path, and both of those paths are totally opposite, and you need to make sure you're making the right choice. And sometimes, and I tell them all the time, if you can't choose the right path, then walk alone. Sometimes it's hard to walk alone, especially telling a teenager that, but it's better to walk alone than taking the wrong path and getting in trouble and doing the wrong things. And I try to tell these kids that, and I've reached lots and lots of kids by going in there with my mask on and my tight shirts and my, and all that stuff. And they listen to me, man, and it makes me feel so good. I've got kids coming up to me crying, going, I don't want, I want to choose the right things. I want to do the right things. And I just tell them, I'm always here for you. Reach out to me, have your mom or dad reach out to me. I'll talk to you anytime that you need to. Just make those right choices. And because you got to make the right choice to make a good change in your life. And that's the only way. Choices are they come really quick sometimes, and sometimes and you're not going to make the right choice all the time. You're just not. We're not. We even us as adults, we don't make the right choices all the time. I mean, it's
Facts.
just what it is. It's just the way it is. It's human nature.
Yeah.
But you can't let it change you. You got to stay on the same course and fix it. And that's what I try to tell these kids. You're going to mess up. But this is the thing. If you're not failing, you're not trying.
Yeah.
You got to think about that. If you're not failing, you're not trying. So if you're winning at everything, well, you're just you're staying comfortable and staying down there. Sometimes you got to branch out. But if you try something and you fail, doesn't mean you quit. That doesn't mean that you're done. That just means you got to get back on the horse and do it again. That's all it is. You just got to keep doing it till you get it right.
All it
So
is your first attempt in learning.
that's exactly right, man. And that's what I go to these schools and talk. But thank you. But the mental health
Yeah.
thing, I try to really reach out to these veterans and ex police officers and ex firefighters and anything with a high suicide rate, man. I try to talk to them and let them know that they're loved, they're wanted, they're worthy, they're powerful, they're strong, everything every day, man. And just that's just what I love to do.
Well,
Absolutely.
as a veteran, I appreciate that. And saying all that brings to mind a saying that is near and dear to my heart. I don't quite remember how it exactly goes, but the way I say it is, to the world you're just one person, but to one person you are the world. So like you could you could be having a horrible day, but then you see that one person and your world just instantly brightens because
Yep.
they're like the sunshine in the clouds.
Hmm.
And it's you have that same effect on other people whether you know it or not.
That's
You
exactly
know,
right.
like there are days that I'm down in the dumps and super depressed or just ready to do whatever, and then I see this lug and I'm like, you
Hey,
know what, I'm cool. Because I mean we bounce off each other. He's the chihuahua of the group, full of
first
energy,
off,
yapping.
golden retriever.
Okay,
You're
golden
right.
retriever.
Golden retriever. No.
Yeah, yapping and high energy, and I'm over here like the bulldog, just like, all right, don't mess with me, and we'll be cool. But you got to have that balance. You can be stoic and sit back and act all tough and everything, but I promise you, somewhere deep down, you got a soft spot. Everybody does.
That's exactly
Mhm.
right, man.
You
And
just have
that's
to embrace it at times.
Yep.
and that's why I talk to you about mental health at the con, man, is because like I told you at the con, me and Tank both suffer with mental problems. We both have PTSD, we both have depression. That's only two of the things.
I'm right there with you guys. I'm right there.
so
I had the exact same thing.
so you get it.
I get it, dude. I
Yeah.
do. I mean, when I'm 54 years old and can't sleep without a light on or a TV on,
Mhm.
you got problems, dude. And I can't because I got PTSD really bad. And if any kind of dark spaces and I get hot, I freak out, dude. I freak out. And
We're
I used to hate telling people that because I was
mm,
embarrassed about it and everything else. But you know what? It's something that I've talked to psychiatrists. I've talked to people about it. I've tried to overcome it, and I overcome it in my own way. And that's the reason when I tell these people, people, sometimes I go to these different things, like on a movie set or something like that. They'll say, "I'm gonna put you in an Airbnb, and you're gonna share a room." I'm going, dude, I can't share a room with nobody. And then I have to tell them, and it's like, dude, I have to sleep with the TV on and a light on. I said, most people don't sleep that way. They sleep in total darkness and all that. I said, I can't do it, man. And I freak out sometimes at night. And all the directors, thank God, are very sympathetic to me and they always put me up in my own hotel room and all that stuff. I mean, there's been nights literally 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm walking around a hotel room sweating, going to the door, thinking about walking out, going to the window, looking out just to make sure that I've got open space because I feel like everything's closing in on me and I can't breathe. That's rough. That's
yeah.
rough. That's rough. And when you can't sleep and you lay in bed and you feel like you're just being suffocated, it's just it's a rough time. And I know what people go through with PTSD and it bothers me and I don't want nobody to go through what I go through. And that's the reason I try to talk to them and it helps me too.
I will say this. This is for everybody. This is one thing I absolutely hate, and I'm saying this out in public. Okay, so obviously Tank is a veteran. I don't know if you are a veteran, James.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for your service. Um, but see, y'all both are veterans. Y'all both have PTSD. Um, when I tell people I have PTSD, the immediate thought process is, "Oh, you're a vet." No, I'm not a vet. I never served in our military. I have something which I make it shorter just by saying PTSD. I have something called CPTSD, which is child PTSD. So it just it's a lot to say, and no one gets it. They always assume that I was in the military and that's why I have it. I'm like, no, no, that's not it. Um, so that's what I hate is that people compare that because not everybody has to be in the military to have
Absolutely
PTSD.
not.
You know,
Absolutely not.
depression, anxiety. There's a lot of things that you can have that doesn't have to have that stipulation there. You
That's
know,
exactly right.
you just have it. I don't know if I'm using that right word, but I'm
There's
sorry.
a laundry list of illnesses and side effects and everything that you can. It's not necessarily military strictly. You know, there's
No.
trauma from your childhood, trauma as an adult. I mean, firefighters get it, police get
Mine
it.
has nothing to do
You
with
know,
military. Mine has to
yeah.
do with firefighting. So it has nothing to do with the military. So yeah, I agree with you, man, Jason. I 100%. You know, I don't. It doesn't have when people hear PTSD. Yes, they think of military. They think of or police or something like that.
Yeah,
You know, yeah, I mean, I totally get it, but at the same time, there's so many different things out there that gives people PTSD. It does not have to be, you know, you think about a woman that gets beat. You know,
mhm.
she's
Yep.
got that ain't got nothing to do with
Immediate.
the military.
Yeah,
You know, a man that gets
100%.
beat. Yeah, dude, it's so many different things out there. And good Lord, if we could get on that subject and talk for 30 hours about it. I mean, it's just, it's literally, I mean, it's just, there's so many. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from, Jason.
Well,
They don't need, they don't, they shouldn't be doing that anyway. They should just
Yeah,
love on you and talk to you and say, hey, dude, I understand,
I
or
get it.
don't
Yeah,
understand. I don't understand. And I hate that you're going through that or something like that. There's no reason to ask questions about why you got PTSD. It doesn't matter. Or CPTSD. It doesn't matter. You know,
well,
I don't know.
I mean, like case in point, you know, like I said, there's a laundry list of things. One thing that I just recently had my first bout with, and I'd been fascinated by it and heard stories about sleep paralysis
Mhm.
tons over the years. And I just had my first bout with it like maybe 2 weeks ago. I've done a lot of stuff in my life. I was in the military. I've worked security. I've worked construction. You know, I've done a lot over my years. That is the most terrifying thing that I've ever had happen because, like, I felt like I woke up, I could not move. There was in my mind, there was a big black mass with red eyes just sitting right there, staring at me. Like I could hear my wife talking to me, but I couldn't move. I couldn't. That is, I broke down sobbing because I could not do anything. I am
Wow.
6'4", 315 pounds. I will force my way through things if I need to. That is the
Yes, you
first
would.
time. That is the first time I've ever felt powerless, and I hated it.
I I just want you to know I'm laughing at you at the fact because I just want everyone to know he came to my house and told me about that night or that day, and he's like, F that stuff.
Nope.
He's like, dude, it was so bad. He's like, I don't get scared. He's looking at me, I don't get scared, but F that.
Yeah, no. The hell with that.
Yeah, he was not having it. He was not a happy camper, guys.
Wow. That's crazy.
So yeah, I've had it one time and I was like 16 or so. So I got where Tank was coming from. When I had mine was not a black mass. Mine was a thing on my it was like a arm wall, I think it is, like kind of like a desk like this. He
Yeah.
was on it was like a skinny, like I can tell you exactly what it looked like. He was like a skinny figure. He was on top on the shelf looking down on me. I couldn't move and he had a smile like the Cheshire cat kind of thing. And he's just looking at me and tilted his head. And the only logical thing I could do at the teenager stats at the time was put my covers over my head. That's all I could do. I just,
Yeah,
but yeah, it sucks. It really does.
that does suck, dude. Yeah.
Luckily, I won't have it recently. So, but yeah, what about you, James? You ever had that?
I've never had that. Not like that right there.
And I hope
Not,
you never do.
and I hope that I don't either, because more than likely I'll be by myself in a hotel room somewhere or something like that, and I won't have nobody around me to help me or whatever, and I won't know what to do.
Call me.
But no, I
Yeah,
will.
we're
But
we're just so we tell this to all the people, like our buddy OG Taco. You know, we check up on him every other
yeah,
day. We're a
yeah.
phone call away, message away.
I appreciate that, guys, and I'm the same way with. That's what I tell everybody. You know, I give people my number all the time. People tell me you're crazy. You shouldn't be giving your number out. And I'm going. You know what? If that person ever needs me, I'm good with it. You know, I don't care if it's
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning or whatever else. I want to be there for that person. You know, if they need me. So, but yeah, no, I'm thankful that I've never had that right there. It's just mine's just totally opposite. It's just can't breathe and can't, it's just it's a feeling of helplessness pretty
Yeah.
much.
If I may ask you, you don't have to answer, but if I may ask, what branch did you serve in?
I was a Marine. Yes, sir.
Marine. Oh,
Yes, sir.
so he carried you around.
I was in the Navy.
Oh, he was Navy. Okay. Yeah.
It's okay.
So
He went on a boat with 100 guys, and all the 50 of them came back as couples, so it's fine.
No, that's a submarine, sir.
Oh, submarine.
Submarine. They allow women on ships.
Oh, okay, got you. Well, I got something to show you. I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share the my screen. I don't.
Are
This
you
is my
doing
first
what you were
time.
doing earlier?
Yeah, this is my first time doing this. So James, I'm sorry if I mess up on it.
you're good.
But we're gonna see this real quick, and this is not the picture. This is not. Hold on. Let's see. This is share screen, Windows. Okay, there we go. We're gonna share that one. All right, you see it?
Okay.
All right.
No, he don't see it yet.
No,
But he
you don't
does
see it?
now.
There we go.
Oh,
Ha. Okay,
ah,
so that's not the picture.
no.
We see
Okay.
we see James in a nice cowboy hat. You know, he still looks I guess buffed on here. We see that on a horse. Everything's
Yep.
good. Still a little buffy. James, tell me what happened here. What what
Well,
happened there, bud?
that's the show of a good actor where you can change into looking like the dad role. That's
Yeah.
yeah, that was a movie that I shot up in oh Eastern Kentucky up there, and I was playing a dad. I was the owner of a store, and that was cool. And I love playing roles like that, man, because it just it gives another side of me, you know. I've and I kind of love that. I didn't know what she was going to show, dude. That scared me.
No, well, I mean, are you still the same size in that?
Yeah,
Because you look skinnier in this photo.
I probably was a little skinnier than I am now. I'm 6'2", I weigh 230 now. That one right there, I probably weighed about 220.
It kind of baffled me because yeah, there's Jason. There's
No,
Jason, everybody. Man,
there it
how
is.
was that to breathe in that?
It was not easy to breathe in
Not
that at all.
easy.
And hey, dude, I'm telling you right now that it was something I had to overcome. You know, like I said, I don't like tight spaces, and
Right.
Yeah.
that right there pushed my limits to no end. And I got to where I was wearing it for about 20, 30 minutes at a time. And
Mm.
especially like filming, I did all my own stunts in it. I fought in it. I fell. I threw people around. I killed people in it. It's just something that I overcame. And when I got into character, it was like I was another person, dude. And because
You
once
were
I put that
Jason.
mask, I was Jason. Once I
Yeah.
put that mask on, you did not hear a peep out of me. You know, if someone asked me to do something, I just look at them and just turn my head back, and I do it. You know, they know that I was listening, but it was wild. But that suit weighed so much, and I lost a lot of weight shooting that movie. Actually,
So like how is that? Like, did they get the skin right here, and then you just had like a face opening, and then they
No,
just put the mask
no,
on? No,
no. It was prosthetics on the entire face,
all
dude.
the way. Oh no,
All
I
the way.
couldn't. I couldn't do. This is why I'm not an actor, everybody.
All the way.
But
Yep.
we see this. We see this like
Yeah.
we see this right here, and like, oh, I'll bring your daughter home whenever I want to. Hey, how's your mom and them?
That's funny, dude. That's
that's
funny.
what that's what I see.
Hey, I appreciate that. That means I was doing. I looked the part. I did what I was supposed to do there. So
Fair.
yeah,
It's funny that you said you were a store owner in that, because when I saw that one, I instantly thought supermarket manager.
that's what
supermarket
I owned a
manager.
store. Yep, that's exactly what it was.
Let's see.
That's
So,
great.
I
Now,
played. I was in a movie with Eric Roberts, and he played a doctor, and I played a preacher. And it's that was pretty cool. And then another one I was in with Eric Roberts. I was a motorcycle gang member, so I had
see,
my hair all flipped up and had tattoos all over me, all up and down my arms and on my chest and all that stuff. And I drove a motorcycle. Dude, that was amazing. So it was awesome. But
well,
now
yeah,
what
I
is?
have one quick question, because I just found out about this, and Jay, I don't know if you know this or not.
Mhm.
What was it like on Stranger Things?
it
Wait,
was
what?
amazing. It was
He was on
amazing.
he was on Stranger Things.
Was
Yes,
he? What were
Yes.
you doing?
I was
Please tell me
season
about that.
I was season 3. Yes. Oh, getting that was amazing because I was sitting at home one day. I'll just tell you how I got the whole role. I was a real paramedic for 16 years, with the fire department and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was also acting at the same time. Well, my agent here in Nashville, she called me one day and she said, I need your availability on such and such dates. And I'm going, okay, I mean, depends on what it is. I said, I can do pretty much whatever, I'll take off work or whatever I got to do. And she said, well, it's for Stranger Things. And I said, okay. I said, so I got an audition. She goes, no, they've already, they need your availability to where they can bring you down and you're going to be on the show. And I said, oh, okay. So I said, any day they want me. I don't care what it is. They tell me what day to be down there and I'll be down there. So I went to Atlanta, I got on set and I met one of the producers and he said, are you the paramedic? And I said, I am. And he goes, come with me. I kid you not. They took me straight into Millie Bobby Brown's dressing room.
Oh wow.
The director was in there with her. We come in there. He introduced me to the director. I shook his hand. We talked. He goes, okay. He said, you're my paramedic. He said, you're gonna be in this. This is what we're gonna do. This, and this happened to her. I need you to fix her, and then you'll be on screen and all that stuff with her. And I said, cool, and that was it. I was on the TV show, and that was the coolest. Just being on a set that big was
Yeah.
that was probably that it still is today, besides the Jason role. And um that was the biggest TV show that I've been, and I'm going to be on 911 Nashville next Thursday. my
Oh,
my
Nice.
okay.
my episode will be on there next Thursday. I think it's next Thursday, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, being on that set, getting to see how things were run. I produced several movies myself already before then, and it was like getting to see how things run on an actual TV set like that. How, you're talking thousands of people, dude. There wasn't even during I was at the mall scene, and they had military. I'm talking about helicopters and tanks and trucks and all this. And then they had 2 ambulances and all that stuff and firefighters and all that stuff going at one time. And then the main cast were there and all that stuff. It was crazy. So getting to be on that show, just to be with the main characters and all that stuff, and it helped me more so as an actor than anything. I mean, it really did. I got to listen and watch these big name people work, and I'm talking about behind the scenes too, not just the actors. I'm talking about the
Mhm.
directors, the producers, and all that stuff. And dude, I just kept my mouth shut and just watched and learned, and I loved it. And ever since then, man, everything just blew up, man. I mean, I've done a lot since then. That was years ago when I was on that show. And just things have changed for me big time, and I'm so grateful. I'm so humbled by it. I love every minute, and it was a small part on Stranger Things, but to me it turned my entire career around,
Yeah.
and it really did. And after that, just people started calling my agents and wanting me and different things and wanting me for different shows and all that, and it's just, dude, I think last year I did 25, 26 podcasts. This
Wow.
year I've already, I'll surpass that by a lot this year. I've already done 20 podcasts this year already.
So you're
Nice.
saying we're not the only one?
Hey, I'm just glad he decided to come on.
Yeah,
Oh,
agreed.
dude,
Agreed.
anytime y'all ask me to, I'm sorry I was late when I feel like I was really late. I'm sorry, but I had some things go on here, and it was like, but you know what? It was very hectic until I got on the phone with you guys. And now, yeah, things are still hectic, but I'm here with you guys, and this is all that matters. And this is where I'm giving my attention to right now is you guys. And that's the way I feel like that I should do this. If I'm going to be in this role and I'm going to do this, then I need to show everybody respect that is asking me for the same thing. And that's just the way I look at things.
Why can't all actors be like that?
Jay, I know we've had a lot of people on our show, but hands
He's
down, he
definitely
is my
top five,
favorite
at
now.
least.
Oh no, number one,
Number
number
one.
one. Like I love all the other people we've had, and I'm very happy they came on. But James is killing it.
Yeah,
Well, I
hundred
appreciate that,
percent.
guys. I really do. I really do. I just love what I do. I love what I do, and I love how that my life has changed over the last 10 years, and it really has. And I've grown as a person, and I've taken a lot of anger out of my heart and put a lot of love in my heart for a lot of people. And I don't let things bother me the way I used to. And I've seen that it's better for me mentally when I do that than it is to hold things in and I still have my times. I still have, I still call people and talk to them and need that reassurance myself too, because I'm just an ordinary man, and that's what I tell people all the time. Yeah, I'm Jason Voorhees, but down deep, I'm just James. I'm just an old country boy from Kentucky, and I'm just a very humbled actor that loves his job, and I do. I love it more than anything in this world, and I just keep getting these better and better roles, and I'm getting ready to do another movie called The Massacre, where I'm the killer in it, and the makeup and stuff is just absolute. I'm bald headed, and um it's just they make me up, man. They paint me up. I look wicked. I have one eye that's whited out. It's just I can tell you all that because it's already out now, and that we're promoting it very hard. We start shooting it in July. I just shot another movie in Daytona Beach, Florida, called The Hive. I can't wait till that comes out. I'm the killer in that one as well. And it's a big honor to me when a director will call me or something and say, "I want you to be my killer. I want you to be my killer in my movie." And it's like, hell yeah, this is awesome. And it's just a big honor to me, and I appreciate it. And every movie that I'm in, or in every podcast that I do, and anything of every school that I go visit, and every guy that I go talk to, I give and the conventions that I go to, I give my 100% at every one of them that I go to. I don't care if I'm tired or whatever else. I give my 100%, and what happens happens.
Yeah,
I've been to cons where I've made lots and lots of money, and I've been to cons where I've made less than $100
yeah,
over the whole weekend. I don't care. I treat them all the same. It doesn't matter.
yeah. Number one, at least number one.
See, see the passion that he has, the
Yeah,
drive that he has to get better. Like honestly, that's the kind of
that's
person
what
I
we
aspire
strive
to be.
for. Yeah,
Yeah, that's I want to be like that. I
yeah.
want
You're
Dude,
definitely
I
at
want this
number one
podcast to
spot,
be like
James.
that.
well, it didn't come. It didn't come easy,
Easy,
dudes. I
yeah.
Yeah.
mean, yeah, it isn't. It didn't, and it took a lot of hard lessons, and I'll be the first to tell you, I trip and fall just like everybody else does.
Yeah.
And but I get back up and I put a smile on my face and I keep moving forward, and I pick up the next guy that falls, because that's what's got to happen. You know, we got to be there for each other. And if you don't want to do that, then stay out of our way, because we're going to come and we're going to be there. And I mean that with all. It's just like bullying, man. I don't care if you're 12 or 98. I'll beat your ass. You bully somebody.
Hell yeah.
I don't like a bully, dude. I don't like a bully, whether it be a female or a male or whatever else. You know, I don't like people being bullied, because it's just the little guy's got to have someone to speak up for him. And I will do that in a heartbeat, and don't hesitate I mean, and I've got the, you know, I've got the size to do it. And I'll do it, you
I
know, in a
feel
heartbeat.
I feel like
Speaking,
I got
mhm.
asked to be bullied. I've been bullied a lot of my life back in school.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, swirlies, stuffed in lockers, beat, all that good jazz, and I tell people all that all the time. But see, I think I got asked to do it because you got to think I'm a big, as you could tell, I'm a big Naruto fan. Like I'm a big nerd. And I told Tank this, but I was the type of kid that would go and just be like, who, just do all these stupid hand signs. So I feel like I was asking for it.
He was asking for it. And you know what? That's the whole thing, though. And I've seen kids and adults same time do same thing that you're talking about right there, man. And I don't care what they do, they still deserve respect. And if you don't respect someone, then you can't respect yourself.
Yep.
And that's the way I look at it. And you know, if you go around disrespecting people and talking down on them and talking dead to them, you can't respect yourself for that. You can't. You know, and I can't do that, and I won't do that. I won't.
See, I look at it. This is my perspective from the outside looking in. You know, there's jocks, there's nerds, there's, you know, everybody loves what they love. And in my mind, as long as what you're doing and what you love doesn't actively put anybody in harm's way, or is not detrimental to you or your family or anything like that, do
Hmm.
what you do. There's a lot of stuff out there that's going on that people love that I don't understand. You know, I don't understand furries, you know, but it's not my place to judge. You know, if it makes you happy and it's
Yeah.
not actively hurting somebody or
Mhm.
not putting you in some kind of strain or, you know, some kind of situation that's going to be detrimental to your health,
Hmm.
do what you do.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
We've had furries come to our table and we
Yeah.
treat them just like we treat Joe, Jim, Bob, or Kim, whoever. You know,
That's right.
that's how
Now,
we
You know.
see it.
Yeah.
speaking of all that, with you know, being number one for the show and everything, I have to ask. Um, so you know, back in 2015 when you started, did that little short, you know, the switch.
The switch.
Yeah, how was that? What was that like?
It was amazing, actually. It was shot on a place called Copper Canyon Ranch in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. It's an active place right now today. It's literally an 1800s western town built out in the woods by this guy named Tim Emery. Great. I look in him as family. I mean, I grew up around him, you know, because I grew up in Pembroke, Kentucky, which is about 10 miles from Hopkinsville. But I've known Tim and Chad and all them all my life. Well, Chad is a kind of a director writer himself. Well, he wrote this little short story called The Switch, and it was about. It's kind of funny. The way it was. It was as a western town. This guy rides in on a horse with this electrical box on his horse, which is futuristic. And he turns the switch, and he goes from, okay, you know the old black and white cowboy movies, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was shot in black and white, and then when he turned the switch, everything went to color. And it was
Okay.
like we're standing there going, "What is going on?" No, everybody's in color now. You know, so it was kind of cool. And I got to meet a lot of good people on that set, and but it was great. I got to ride a horse in it, and I got to do a lot of stuff, and it was one of my first. one of my first films that I ever did. It was great. I don't know. It was just a little short film. We shot it over like 2 weekends, and we got to dress up in 1800s Western wear and do all that stuff, and it was shot pretty good. I loved how they shot it, and it was just fun. It was just a bunch of people. It had no budget to it whatsoever. We didn't get paid for it. It was all just a bunch of people out there having fun that loved the movies and doing that stuff. And I shot a lot of movies like that in my early career, absolutely for free. I just gave
Yeah.
up my time on weekends and stuff, and when I could go, and we filmed and had fun, and just a bunch of people getting together doing that, making art, the way I looked at it. And it was great. And so yeah, it was very fun doing
Now,
that doing that
was
show.
this before or after the International Pro Rodeo?
That was after. Yeah, that matter of fact. Oh yeah, I did that late '80s, early '90s. I rode professional. I got my pro card in, I think, 1988, 89, and I rode professional for 4 years after that. So I rode for 5 years total, but 4 years
Yeah.
as a pro, and I got to ride in some pretty big. I rode bulls and bareback, and
Oh
got to
wow.
ride. Yeah, yeah. I rode bareback first. The barebacks was always first, and then
Yeah.
I would ride a bull at the end of the night. We didn't know who we was going to draw or whatever else, but I'd get on the back of a bull. I had a couple of wrecks and broke my whole face and all that stuff before. But yeah, it's been, but it's like anything else, man. You just get back up and get back on another one, you know.
Nice.
I want to ask you one last thing on your IMDb, and then
Yeah.
we'll let you get back. Can you tell me anything? Because I don't know if y'all guys are done with it yet. Can you tell me anything about Mr. Jackson Crawford?
That has been put on hold. I do.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep, that's been put on hold. Golly, that would be that. I hope that comes to fruition one day. I do. It's going to be a great TV series, and that's what they had it scheduled as, is a TV series.
Yeah,
Um, it will be phenomenal if it gets made. As you know, it takes a lot of money, a lot of funding to get a TV show together. But that would be phenomenal if it is. I'm still working on something. I'm doing funding on another one too that I might direct myself. It's called Ichabod Crane. And we're going to play the Headless Horseman. I'm going to play the Headless Horseman because
Oh, that is wonderful.
yeah, so I'm working on some things with that right now. Um, Matter of fact, I got to get a hold of the guy that actually wrote it. He asked me to direct it, and I'm going to play the Headless Horseman. And but if that comes to fruition, that is going to be phenomenal.
I looked at it and I read the synopsis of it, and I
Hmm.
think that sounds great. That's what
Yes.
got me because I saw the pagan, or I might as well say it, pagan, the awakening.
Hmm.
But don't worry if I can't say it, editing.
Mm,
Yeah. No. 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 You
I
can
have
say. I'm
powers.
hoping that they comes to fruition. I really do. That was something that was brought to me a couple of years ago, and I was going to be the lead in it. And yeah, I'm hoping that still is still something that could come to fruition. I hope. I really do.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, this is a hard, like I said, this is a hard business. It
Yeah.
really is. It's kind of like forest to the trees. You know, if you can make a feature film nowadays as an independent, you've done something pretty big. And get it out there and get it distributed and get it out. And we're on like 6 platforms, and we're overseas now with Forest to the Trees. I don't
Yeah.
know if y'all seen it.
I have not.
Dude, please go watch it. It's on Tubi, it's on Prime, it's on Screamify, it's on so many different, several other platforms. But go and watch that. I mean, and not just because of me, and by no means. I mean, there's a lot of characters in there you're going to fall in love with that are really good. The girl that plays my daughter Annie, the girl that plays her girlfriend Olivia Disney. Oh my God, the fantastic actors. Scott Doss that plays the antagonist, the bad guy. My goodness, he is amazing. So, it's just there's so many different characters in that movie that you will like really like. It was a very emotional movie for me because it's about a stepdaughter, and I have stepkids, and it's like it just hits me hard, And I don't want to tell you, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but it's really it's based horror. I mean, it's the horror genre, but it's more suspense and it's more psychological a
Yeah.
movie than anything, and it's really cool. And you'll see how it affects me. And the tears that you see are real because I mean, I went to some very dark places in that movie, and you'll see why and all that stuff. So it's pretty cool.
100%. I'll watch it.
Thank you.
I'm down. I'm down for it. Okay, James, you want to tell
Yes,
everybody where to find you on any kind of social media platform?
absolutely. You can find me on any of them, like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. I'm usually under James Stokes. You can find or Stokes.James either way. TikTok is James Stokes. Instagram is Stokes.James. Facebook is James Stokes. IMDb, they can go to IMDb and see everything that I've got coming up, everything that's in the works right now, which is a lot. There's a lot in the works. I've got 70 credits to my name, and I've got, if all of these things start happening, it's probably going to be close to 100. So it's like, it's insane the things that we've got in the works. But yeah, they can find me anywhere. Facebook, follow me. I'm close to my 5,000 friends. But you can still follow me, of course, on Facebook. I post a lot of stuff on Facebook. Instagram is the best place. I post a lot of pictures on Instagram of my movies and different things that I'm doing in my life and all that stuff. And then TikTok, every now and then I'll get on TikTok. I used to do a lot more. I slowed down on TikTok,
Same.
but yeah, but I appreciate it, guys. It's guys like you that bring people on like me. That if it wasn't for guys like you, we wouldn't be able to get our word out and to promote ourselves and to promote our movies and all that stuff. So thank you guys so much
You're
for
very
asking me.
welcome.
Anytime that you want me on, I'll be on. Next time I'll be on time. Promise.
You're fine. You're fine.
I do
Well,
not.
I have just followed you on Facebook, so I'll
Okay.
get you
Thank you.
closer to that
I've
5,000.
already followed him on Instagram.
Thank
Easy.
you. Thank
I'm
you.
just kidding.
Thank you, guys. I
Uh,
appreciate that. Yeah.
guys, if y'all guys see James at a con, please go by, get one of these masks. He signs them with love and care. There's my
I do.
name with leave no one alive.
Yeah.
So make sure you go by, see him, get an autograph. This has been in my living room like the whole time since you signed it, by the way.
That's awesome, dude. And I'm going to be at some conventions coming up. Like I was going to tell everybody, I'm going to be at Chattanooga this weekend. Here in just a few weeks. Yeah, dude. In a few weeks, I'm going to be in a lot of places. I'm going to be in
Yeah,
PA. I'm going to be in New Orleans. I'm going to be in North Carolina. I'm going to be in. I'm going to be all over the place. I mean, I
all
really
over.
am. Yes, New
Nice.
Jersey. Yeah, I just left Virginia. So I'm going to be at a lot of conventions, and I do kind of post on my social medias where I'm going to be at different times. So people that are in the area or close to the area can come out and see me, and it actually does work. People actually do come to see me. It's kind of cool. I mean, I go to a lot of haunted houses in September and October. I go to one in Georgia
Mhm.
every year. Last year I had 2,500 people.
Oh wow.
Wow. We could barely get like 10 people in our anyway.
Guys, it's absolutely insane. They advertised that I was going to be there in over 25. They said it was their largest night since they'd been open ever.
That's
And
wild.
Wow.
now I'm not saying they all come to see me. They didn't. And thank goodness, because I would have ran out of pictures a long time ago. But a lot of them did come see me, and a lot of them bought from me, and I really appreciate that more than anything. But the biggest thing is it brought people to the haunted house, and I love promoting haunted houses. I think it's fun. I think people needs to go to haunted houses more and get your heart rate up. It's just fun. It's overall fun. You get to see new characters. These haunted houses don't have like regular Jason. Some of them do, regular Jasons or Michaels and Freddys. They come up with their own characters, and some of them are amazing, like scary ass characters, dude. Like how did you come up with that? I mean, that would make a good character in a movie. But it's just like, so these haunted houses work so hard, and these actors, most of them, some of them get paid, some of them don't, some of them are volunteer. But man, they love to scare people. The jump scares are the greatest, and it's just I love promoting haunted houses and stuff like that. And I love when haunted houses ask me to come. I'm going to go right back to the insane asylum in Virginia this October during one of their haunted houses. They've already asked me to come back, so I'm going to go up there, and during one of their haunted houses I'll be signing autographs out at the front door when they come in through the door. So it's kind of, and that's at a real insane asylum that is haunted like big time. So it's kind
I
of
want to
cool.
go.
Come on. It's great, dude. And that's another thing. I get to go to all these paracons and stuff now, which is a crossover between paranormal and horror. And it's absolutely phenomenal. The group of people that have pretty much brought me in as their family, it's great, you know, and I love it. I love it. But
Well,
stay in the gym, stay strong, keep doing what your guys are doing, and I appreciate it more than you'll ever know. Really.
yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Guys, make sure you go follow James. Make sure you follow all the stuff that he's doing, all the cons, all the movies, everything that he's got going for him will all be on his social media. Make sure you like and subscribe to all of our stuff. It is on Facebook and TikTok. Instagram. So make sure you follow us, the Hesitation Station, everywhere. Until next time, we'll see you on the next episode. Peace out.
Bye, guys.